if you have anybody in Canada, it's all coming back down. And, you know, inflation, the Federal Reserve, interest rates. And here's something that really worries me. There's a firm, Burns, who's really great with this retail stuff. The cancellation rates right now are what's really your key. In the Southwest, 45%.
Okay, to be clear, that's people who enter into a contract to buy a home and then they bail.
They bail
before
out.
the closing.
40%. It was 9% a year ago, and this number is just like that all over Texas, Northeast, California, Midwest. The Northeast is really reasonable, but we never really had the boom that other places
And a lot of times, historically, that happens because the economic situation changes, their job situation changes, the overall economy changes. A lot can go into that.
Mortgage rates can change. Have changed so much, right? We're near that 7% area. We were at like 3% for so long, and I think a lot waited. I think a lot of potential buyers waited, and a lot of potential sellers waited, and they just sort of were waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't think anyone saw mortgage rates exploding at the pace that they have. So everyone's been caught flat-footed.
Well, you look at the expectation for home sales to reach a 40-year low, and you look at the line graph of the change in mortgage rates that we've seen as the Fed has tried to tackle inflation, and it tells the story. I mean, look at that. This is what we've had to do to try to tame 40-year high inflation. Those interest rates have just gone up, and not consistently, and not, you know, the measured basis. I mean, they have spiked.
That's the definition of parabolic right there.
Yep.
If you ever want to know what parabolic looks like in a dictionary, that's it right there. You don't even have to look up the word. Then you add to that economic woes, right? You know, whether we go into recession, whether it's a shallow recession, we know labor, we know that everything is going to become really different. So we know people are going to lose their jobs. A lot of people are going to have anxiety about, you know, even if you don't lose your job, if your buddy next to you loses their job, then you certainly are in a different fence, right? You're going to probably put that home cold.
All right, I got some speed questions for you here real quick. Sam Bankman-Fried is set to testify this week on the FTX collapse. You think we'll get any truth from him?
No. No.
That's it?
Is that quick enough?
Wow.
He's on unusual wells today on a Twitter thing. He's doing these Twitter things all day and all night. He did obviously a whole lot of other network kind of stuff. He's gone past the delusional. And I know he just hired a famous criminal attorney, and he's still on Twitter today talking. So he's not listening to anyone. The arrogance is out of this world. It should be an amazing show. It should be a show of just a crazed lunatic who just believes in it, who fell for his own stuff.
It'll be interesting to watch the lawmakers who received contributions in this year, 2022. We actually put together a scroll. There's so many, I won't even be able to put them all up on the screen. So you have to imagine, as he sits in the hot seat, many of them are as well. Some, by the way, have already said that any funds they receive from him or the company, they will be donated to charity. Some people say this should be in some sort of victims fund, going back to those who lost, in some cases, their entire life savings. I want to finish up by asking you about the markets. There's quite a rally on Wall Street right now, 270 points on the Dow. Huge economic data coming out tomorrow. You're watching it. Why?
Yeah, the consumer price index is the inflation report card. It's become the #1 economic data point of any given month. It used to be the jobs report. It's because all we talk about is inflation.
Yep.
And then there's a hope that maybe it's coming down. Earlier today, the New York Fed had their own version of this. It came down substantially, hence the rally we have now. But if this thing comes in a little bit hotter, and it's a reminder that nothing goes in a straight line up or down, Sandra, this market could get annihilated tomorrow. Conversely, if it comes in a little bit lower, we could be up big. In other words, buckle up. Tomorrow is going to be a huge make it or break it day.
All right, well, we might need you to come back here then.
I'm here.
Walk us through that if that's happening. All right.
I prefer that it's a little lower and we could all have something to cheer about.
All right, a make or break day for Wall Street. By the way, Charles, you have a town hall Thursday, small business survival. This is so important. You are out there with your ear to the ground listening to these folks because they are the engine of our economy in this country, 2/3 of GDP. It is crucial to hear what they are saying.
And they need someone to hear them. They have very little representation in D.C. They don't have lobbyists, but they are, to your point,
but they have Charles Payne,
the backbone of our country, and I got their back.
All right, we'll be watching it on FBN. Thank you very much, Charles. John?
Sandra, an American college student, vanishes while studying abroad in France. Why security video from a sporting goods store may be the key to finding him.
His mom says she pick up the phone and call. Plus, newly independent Senator Kirsten Sinema taking heat, ironically, from another independent senator. Bernie Sanders. Does her switch spell doom for the Democrats in the Senate? We'll ask Kellyanne Conway when she joins us live next.
She is the closest thing the Democrats have to a moderate, which makes her fairly liberal. But compared to Bernie Sanders, they're on different planets.
Still looking for that perfect gift? On a huge 25% off sale site-wide and store-wide for a limited time only. Untucked shirts are designed to be worn untucked. They're the easiest way to keep them looking sharp and feeling comfortable. You can't go wrong with a gift of our super soft free shirts and cozy sweaters. So don't miss your last chance to save 25% off right now at
Guys, fellas, men, do you want a better sex life? Of course you do. Sex releases endorphins, feel-good hormones that help to alleviate stress. And a happy sex life can deepen your feelings of intimacy with your partner and lead to increased happiness. Endorphins. More happiness. What's not to like? So for a better sex life, you gotta check out Roman. Roman is the digital health clinic for men. There are no waiting rooms and no hassle. Roman has genuine medication that helps you achieve and maintain a strong erection. Roman has discreet wipes that help you last 4 times longer in bed. Roman has testosterone testing and treatment. Treating low testosterone can help revive your sex drive. And better yet, Roman sends everything right to your door with free shipping and in discreet packaging. So men, what are you waiting for? For a better sex life, go to ro.co/bettersex. Do it today and get 20% off. That's ro.co/bettersex.
Are you an accredited investor that would like to earn 9 to 10% annually with an investment that is fully secured by real estate? Ben Lyons here, and I'm excited to share how you can take advantage of the Federal Reserve's increase in interest rates. The Fed's rates of mortgage loans higher, so don't fight the Fed. Invest in assets that benefit from rising interest rates. With a shortage of residential housing and interest rates expanding interest margins, now is the time to invest in firstly mortgages on residential and mixed-use properties. For more information and a free copy of my book on creating and increasing wealth through private mortgage loans, or call me directly at 844-489-8454. That's 844-489-8454.
Results may vary. There's no guarantee the past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want?
I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
You can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now get free cocktails and free shipping with your new Bartesian when you go to bartesian.com/Fox News. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. It's a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. And now get free cocktails and free shipping with your new Bartesian when you go to bartesian.com/Fox News. That's BARTESIAN News for your free cocktails and free shipping only at bartesian.com/Fox News.
Hi, Phil Swift here for new Flex Super Glue. What's truly amazing is that our Flex Super Glue is so strong that just one drop virtually off to the surface and can lift over 3 tons. Forget those old super glues. Get the one that's new. Flex Super Glue. Go to flexsealproducts.com/3-ton lift to learn more. One drop lifted 3 tons. For demonstration purposes only.
Police in France searching for an American college student who has been missing now for more than 2 weeks. The 22-year-old has been studying abroad there, but they have not heard from him now since November 27th. David Lee Miller joins us. He's got the latest on this for us. What are authorities telling his family right now?
Well, in 2 words, the family says they're being told almost nothing about their missing son because as a 22-year-old, he is an adult. Privacy issues prevent them from being informed by authorities about his whereabouts. Kendall Fox News Digital, and I quote, "We've hit a brick wall." His parents have launched a website to help find their son. Part of the post says, quote, "We cannot receive updates." The last known sighting was December 3rd in the city of Monet-le-Mar. This is a screen grab from a security camera. Bank records show he spent $8.40. Vanished. DeLand had been staying with a host family while studying at the University of Alps. The last time his folks communicated with him was on WhatsApp on November 27th. That same day, he traveled about 2 hours south to the city of Valence. On November 30th, his phone reportedly pinged, but has since been inactive. The French university he was attending filled out a missing persons report, but his parents say they are being kept out of the loop. This morning, they took their plea before the public.
I say, Kenny, just call me. Just pick up the phone. You can talk to me about anything. That's what I text him. Call me, text me, anything.
It's not characteristic of Kenny to not reach out to us and let us know what's going on. He loves to travel, so this trip has been something that he's really looked forward to.
A State Department spokesperson says officials are aware that DeLand is missing, telling Fox News Digital, quote, "Information with families when we can." DeLand's classes end later this week, and his student visa will expire in just over 1 month, Sandra. And that website I talked about a moment ago that the family put out, another post on that site says, and I quote, "We fear the worst, and we want him to be located."
What at this point, but gosh, just a horrific story, and hope that they get somewhere with this soon. 2 weeks now. Thank you very much, David Lee Miller, on that. John?
Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, among the many left-wing lawmakers criticizing Arizona Senator Kirsten after she decided to leave the Democratic Party and register as an independent. Sanders even suggesting he would back a progressive challenger re-election if she does in 2024. Let's bring in Kellyanne Conway, Fox News contributor and former senior Trump. Over the weekend, yesterday, Bernie Sanders not being kind when talking about Kirsten Sinema. Listen to what he said.
Are the Democrats there not all that enthusiastic about somebody who helped sabotage some of the most... She is a corporate Democrat who has, in fact, along with Senator Manchin, sabotaged enormously important legislation.
Bernie got in a twofer there.
Trouble in paradise as Senator Sanders acts like they've got a 60-vote Senate. So, look, the vitriol being visited upon the shoulders of Kirsten Sinema just because she has gone the way of most Arizonans away from the Democratic Party. Roughly 70% of registered voters in Arizona are either independent or Republican, and Democrat being the lowest of those three. And she's going the way of a lot of Americans, saying, I don't like the two-party system. I think it's, as she says, too rigid. It rewards those who have the less mouths and say the most extreme things. That sounds about right these days, or some days. And also, she's much more honest about her voting record and her new political affiliation as an independent than independent Bernie Sanders. This is a guy who caucuses with the Democrats. This is a guy who did not think much of Joe Biden to the point where he ran against him for president. Made it to the very last round, frankly. Didn't think Joe Biden had what it took to be the Democratic nominee and the president of the United States, but doesn't have the courage and the guts Sinema has to leave his party, stop caucusing with them, and go ahead and be an independent voice for Vermont and be an independent vote in the Senate. They're mad at Sinema the way they're mad at Joe Manchin for a couple of things. One, of course, was they refused to kill the filibuster. She and Manchin voted to retain it. They thought that got in their way of their favorite.
They thought it was an important principle.
Well, sure, but they wanted to get rid of it because they wanted to retain it all those years, and they wanted to get rid of it because they didn't have a big vote margin.
No, I meant that Manchin and Sinema thought it was an important
That's right,
principle.
they did indeed. And also, you know, she's been very honest about Title 42. She came out with Tom Tillis, tried to have a bipartisan bill saying, listen, she's trying to get citizenship, I believe, in exchange for not stopping Title 42 so abruptly, letting it expand for another year.
So let's look ahead to 2024 and how this is all going to play out in the Senate. The Washington quote, Senate Democrats had a good 2022. The 2024 election could be brutal. Of the 34 seats that are up for re-election in 2024, Democrats are defending 23. 3 of those seats particularly ripe for the GOP, given that they favored Trump by at least 8 points in 2020, Montana, Ohio, and West Virginia. When you look at the overall map, And then you look at the fact that, well, Democrats will probably run their own candidate against Sinema in 2024 if she runs for re-election. That could split to some degree the Democratic vote, maybe let a Republican run up the middle. So how does the map look for 2024?
The map looks great for the Democrats in 2022. They barely got a majority out of it and outspent the Republicans in some places 3-1 and more. The map looks just as great, if not better, for Republicans in 2024. We can't take that for granted. We have some work to do, particularly early ballots, John, as we've discussed previously. But if you look at some of the states that are up, the fundraising, when you look at some of the states that are up, Montana, West Virginia, Michigan, I believe, or Arizona. And I think that them coming for Senate, we still work together with you. You vote with Joe Biden, the Democrats, over 95% of the time anyway. How can we work together with you on a few things instead of saying we're going to take you out? I mean, the pettiness, really, the childishness of the Democrats against their Democratic senator, who for a long time has been an independent voice for Arizona. But I feel really good about 2024. These are the Democrats elected in 2018, the first midterm for President Trump when he was there that term, and it's going to be very hard for them to defend their records here in Washington when they get back home.
Well, we're just finished with the midterms, but we got a lot to talk about for the next 2 years.
It's already started.
We'll be seeing lots of you. Thank you,
John.
Appreciate it. Sandra?
Thank you, Kellyanne. Thank you, John. The TSA touting brand new security technology as a way to speed things up. Great, but will it take you away more time and more of your privacy in the process?
And a surge, to say the least, of illegal border crossings reignited calls for President Biden to see the crisis firsthand for himself. The White House's solution? Billions in additional border funding. Former acting ICE Director Tom Homan on whether Republicans should get on board with that.
It's unconscionable that the president and the secretary have refused to do their job. They've abdicated. He has to go. He has to resign. We have to remove him.
Mental Health Radio, a brand new channel on SiriusXM, is for the moments when life is hard, for when you're dealing with a challenge that seems overwhelming, for when you need support and hope. Bringing NYU Langone Health's leading psychologists and psychiatrists to you, Mental Health Radio can help you navigate difficulties like anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and more.
We're facing a crisis right now. We want to be here to help you.
Mental Health Radio, your 24/7 resource for advice and support. Available now on the SXM app.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible end-of-the-year sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-31-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-31-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-31-STEEL. You can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building at end of the year savings. Call 877-31-STEEL. That's 877-317-8335. 877-31-STEEL.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? A recent stash of 1904 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1904 silver dollar coins date for silver dollar collectors, and only a limited quantity are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call government at 1-800-386-7195 and you are guaranteed condition 1904 Old Morgan silver dollar, featuring the iconic old mint mark of the New Orleans Mint, the final year of production. But with limited quantity, you must call now. These 1904 silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 117 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-386-7195. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-386-7195 now to secure your 1904 Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-386-7195. And paid for by Open Chart Concepts. Attention firefighters, members of the military,
responders and firefighters at military bases and airports used a chemical-based foam to fight fires. Studies have shown the chemicals used to make aqueous film-forming foam, or AFFF, are highly toxic to humans and have been